In this video, I'm going to show you how I made my remake of the brand new Kygo track called Happy Now. There were some questions about this remake, and also some people had issues opening the project because they had outdated plugins and stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing that explanation video here. We're gonna start off with the guitar for the intro and the verse. It consists of 3 AGM2 layers. One pan to the left, one pan to the right, and the third one is in the middle. All AGM2 instances vary a little, so it gets that wide sound. They all go to one bus with the whole processing on it. The most important effects are mid-side EQing, CLA guitars, and a little chorus. And all together, they sound like this. The next element is the piano 1, which starts in the verse as well. It's a Nexus piano, which is called Ballad Grand Piano. Kygo uses that one quite a lot. I didn't change a lot on this preset, just made the reverb a bit shorter and cut off some of the low end, as you can see. I also panned the piano slightly to the right, because this piano has a certain stereo image, meaning that if you play a low note, it will be on the left side of the stereo image, and if you play a high note, it will be on the right side of the stereo image, which is actually a very nice effect. But in this case, I just wanted the piano chords to be in the middle, so I adjusted the panning. The main processing on this one is EQ, compression, and some reverb. With the effects turned on, it sounds like this. The pre-chorus starts with piano 1 and the high plucks on top of that. The high plucks consist of 2 layers, both Nexus. Layer 1 is again the Ballad Grand Piano, but this time I turned off the reverb and made the decay a bit shorter. Layer 2 is the Nexus preset Digital Xylophone. In the layers section, I turn off all the layers except the first one, which has that certain plucky sound. Again, all effects turned off. They both go to separate mixer channels, which then go to one bus, which has the main processing on it. Again, this is EQ, compression to make them glue a bit more, and some reverb. All together, it sounds like this. The second half of the pre-chorus introduces the low plucks. The low plucks consist of 2 layers as well. Layer 1 is again the Digital Xylophone, but this time I turned off all the layers except the last one. All effects are turned off and no further tweaking was done here. Layer 2 is a Silent 1 preset, which is basically just a saw wave with a little tweaking to make it sound more plucky. Same as with the high plucks, the single layers go into separate mixer channels, which then go to one bus, basically the same processing as the high plucks. All together, they sound like this. Okay, so let's start with the lead synths for the melody. LD1 is a very well-known preset from the Silent 1 stock library called Keys Skydrops. I only turned off the delay, no further tweaking done here in Silent. LD2 is a Nexus preset called LD Theme Init 1. All effects are turned off and the M modifier is tweaked with no release, no sustain and a shorter decay to make it work better with the other lead synths. LD3 is a Silent 1 pluck preset which I made myself. Actually, there's a video on YouTube in which a guy remade the Kygo pluck very well. Anyway, some weeks later I tried to remake that one from what I remember, and this preset turned out, which sounds a lot better and cleaner actually. It sounds more harmonic and has a cleaner attack. Again, all layers go to separate mixer channels, which then lead to the main melody bus. The main effects on this bus are multiband compression to make them glue better, EQ, delay, and a good amount of reverb. All together, they sound like this. Let's go to the chord leads now. The chord leads consist of 2 layers, both Nexus. LD Keys 1 is the smashing dance piano from Nexus called Dance Piano 2K7 with no effects turned on and increased spread. LD Keys 2 is the Ibiza piano from Nexus with again no effects turned on and an increased spread. In the layers section I turn off all the layers except the first one. This makes the piano sound more exciting and works very well in the chorus. Again, both layers go to separate mixer channels, which then lead to the main chord bus. The main effects on this bus are multiband compression to make them glue better, an EQ and a good amount of reverb, not as much as on the melody though. All together, they sound like this. Last but not least, the bass. This one is actually a very simple self-made Silent 1 synth, combining a saw and a sine wave with a filter on top. The processing on this one is some EQing to get rid of unnecessary frequencies like the highs in this case, and a good amount of compression, which is very important for the bass. With the sidechaining turned off, the bass sounds like this. And that's basically all the main elements in this remake. I didn't go too deep into the details just because it would make the video way too long. Obviously, almost every channel has sidechaining on top of all their effects, except the drums of course, and almost every single layer of instruments get EQ'd in a certain way before they hit the basses. Otherwise, the whole mix would sound fucking terrible. Also, I used a lot of filters and gain plugins which get controlled by automations to make the song more alive. But as I said, I didn't want to go too deep into that because it might make the video very tough to watch. I really hope you guys learned something here, and if you have any question, just leave it in the comments below and I'll be answering as good as I can. If you enjoyed this, leave a like there and make sure to subscribe to this channel because I have a lot of new remakes coming very soon. Most of them are already done. Thanks for watching.